Hello, on the sidelines fans. I'm your host, as always, Cameron Capobianco, bringing you another interview. And today we have Tristan Borges from the CPL's Forge FC. Tristan, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for doing this, taking the time out of your day. We're going to get into obviously this CPL season. We're getting into the past one. We're getting into where you were. We're going to get into also maybe you representing a little bit of Canada as well. But first, let's just start it off with what made you want to become a professional soccer player?
Uh, I'm gonna be honest with you. Since I was young, I was always interested in sports itself, right? I'm actually a very big sport fan. I follow a lot of different sports. But I was actually probably the first one, maybe cousins, uncles, anything that started to play soccer when they were young. My family is a very, very big American football fan. Older brother played football, same as my father. But I think just once I started to play, once I guess I realized I was a little bit good or I enjoyed it, just kind of stuck with it, and then kind of got to an age where I realized that maybe this is something I can do for a career. And then that's when I took it a little bit serious. But when I started, I would say maybe three or four.
Was there any other sport maybe you were playing at the time that maybe you could have played maybe going forward into the future?
Uh, not to say really how I am or anything, but I'm me myself. I'm also a very big American football fan too, but obviously I don't have the height for it. But I that's I could say that I could play if I had a little bit different attributes physically, but um, other than that, I mean, I'm pretty decent in most sports.
Right. And were there any players on the football, soccer pitch, the European side that maybe influenced you to get into the game or you just looked up to as a child?
Obviously, just being Portuguese growing up, Ronaldo was always a big inspiration for me. I think just once I started to get a little bit more of the mental part of it and the tactics, and I started really to follow games and everything like that. That's when I kind of transitioned a little bit more to Messi. Messi has always been kind of a player that I always looked up to. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory because he is the greatest of all time. But just there's obviously some players that I've always kind of been interested in kind of having that little 10 role and just kind of having a similar game that I kind of want to mimic, right? But one player obviously that I always kind of looked up to was always Messi.
And let's go to your early life playing soccer. You played for the TFC Academy. You played for Sigma FC in Canada for League One Ontario. You also played in Belgium and Holland. What was that like for you between playing in Canada and also playing soccer overseas?
It's a great experience. Obviously I'm still young, right? But for me, it's just looking at every opportunity that I had, looking at things that I can improve on, obviously learning from it. That's for me, that's the biggest approach you have to take from it, right? In anything that you do. And it's just learning experiences. It's been amazing experiences, like just football wise, and me being growing up. I think that's very important to kind of be on your own and to learn how to just have the responsibility to do a lot of things, right? Just to be a man, right? So the first one when I went, I was a little bit younger, so it took a little bit of time for me to kind of adjust. But just my personality kind of suits that kind of being on my own and figuring things out by myself, and then just going through the whole process. The second opportunity in Belgium was, I was a little bit more comfortable kind of being on my own already at a young age. So it was a little bit easier on that point. So that's why it was kind of a little bit more of a no-brainer for me to kind of take that opportunity and take that step. And just looking back, it's just learning from it, right? Just taking experiences that I had with players, and also just about being a professional on and off the field, and always just trying to incorporate it every single day. Every day is a new day. So just learning from it, and working every day to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. And were there any differences maybe about playing soccer overseas and in Canada, like maybe different tactics or something?
Yeah, I mean, tactics are always different. I think that's always with the coach. Obviously, the speed of play is really, really fast there. The Belgian league has a lot of quality. You can see it also with some of the players that are going there as well. I think everybody can see it with Tejan, how well he's doing there too. But it's very physical over there as well. But just yeah, like I said, just every day picking on different things, right? Just tactically, technically, individually, as a team, just little things like that. But obviously, the speed of play is really, really fast there, and the physicality is big too.
Right. And how did this all help you prepare you to play for the Canadian Premier League with Forge FC?
I think it just gave me a little bit more of that professional environment, right? Having that professional environment in my repertoire. I think that was important. But for me, I look at, I go into every situation, and it's a new situation, right? The first year when I came in, and for me, it's always looking at what I can do to help my team. Right. So obviously the quality's it's been getting better every single year. It's getting much better with the players, with the coaches, with the tactics, everything. And you can see what teams are accomplishing, especially, our team, the years that those are the first years that we've played already in the CPL. But it's been great so far, and I'm really, really happy with how the league is going.
So let's go back to 2019. You made your debut on April 27th for Forge, playing against, obviously now known as York United, but at the time it was York 9 FC. What was going through your head when you stepped onto the pitch for the first time wearing Forge FC jersey playing in the CPL?
A lot of excitement, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie and say no nerves, because there were nerves, but I'm gonna be honest, it was really a lot of excitement just to see the outcome that was there. Also the play, the amount of fans that were there, and the quality that we put on, and just to know that it was the start of something special. Obviously everything takes time, right? But just to have that positive attitude going forward, and looking how every year it's been going, better and better and better. But that first one was just a lot of nerves, but at the same time a lot of excitement.
Right. And let's go about this, because maybe some guys would be coming down in the locker room at this time, but what was it like for you? Because currently you're playing with Ashton Morgan. You played with your captain, Kyle Becker, two guys who played at the MLS level for Toronto FC. What's it like playing with guys who played at a higher level than just the CPL, but have that experience playing professional in a way?
I think it's really, really important, to be honest. For me individually, it's something that I look forward to. I know everybody else has a different approach to it, but for me, it's definitely something I look forward to. Right. I look at players that I can learn from. I look at players that have been in environments that I inspire to be, or that I have been and I want to get back to, or just players that have been in great environments and have accomplished a lot. And I look at it as, that's something that I can learn from as well, right? I'm still young. It doesn't matter if I'm 19 or if I'm 23. For me, it's just all about growing, right? And everybody knows how good Bex has been already in the league, so I think that's self-explanatory. They know, the relationship I have with him. But just having a little brief moment of knowing Ash when I went to the national team camp that one time to make my debut, it was I can already see the type of person that he was, and the personality he would bring to the group, and it's just all about hard work, right? So I think those are two great personalities to have in a locker room. They really lift everybody up, and it's just about being a pro on and off the field. And I think that's kind of the most important thing. I think that's what sets you up for success, for the whole year, right? It's not just about playing a couple good games. It's just trying to be consistent, and understanding that it's a whole season. There's a lot of games, and having personalities like that it really helps you create championship teams. So I think it was really nice to have Ashton, to join him and to get him into the group this year.
Right, absolutely. And obviously we've seen how they have been working out so far for Forge FC. Let's jump a little bit more ahead back to 2019. Just a little, when I say a little bit, like literally maybe just a little bit more. Let's go to that championship that you guys won. Describe to me what the feeling was like for you, especially because you mentioned about your first game in the CPL. Let's talk about maybe the final game for the championship in the CPL for you.
For a game like that, obviously the nerves are always going to be there. I have nerves for every single game. I think that's a sign for me to show that, number one, I'm ready, and I'm excited, right? So it's just about how I deal with it. But for me, like going into that game, I was comfortable. I really liked how I was playing towards the end of the season, and having that familiarity with the group of guys. I think I was comfortable in that part of it, just knowing that we were there to get the job done, and we've had already a great season. And when it came down to games that we needed to perform, we did. It was a mix of nerves, but just having that, just being comfortable, and just knowing that we're here to get the job done. And when you believe in the players around you, when you believe in the guys next to you, it's a different type of confidence. So that's something we're trying to bring into this year as well.
And let's jump maybe into the atmosphere for when you guys hoisted that trophy. What was that like for you?
It was good. I mean, it would have been nice first year to have it back at home, right? But we obviously got the reception right when we got back too. Calvary has a nice spot to play with fans, even though they're not really big fans of us. But just being an athlete, you always like to play in good environments. So
right. And let's talk about this upcoming, well, currently this season, not upcoming, it's already started, but upcoming games, I should say, for the CPL season. You have Halifax on Friday, and then you guys get set to face CF Montreal in the Canadian Championship. What's that going to be like for you playing against teams in the MLS? You probably have seen them before, especially in that championship, but what are some things you guys have been working on that you guys are getting prepared for Friday and also for next Wednesday's game?
I think one thing, especially with us, is we don't really try to focus too much ahead. We kind of just go game by game on what we need to focus on. We know we're not where we want to be in the table in our league. So even though Montreal, the game, for Canada Championship is a very big game, where we just understand that we need 3 points in Halifax first. So we're kind of just going game by game. Obviously, the importance of the game is easy to recognize, right? For the one against Montreal, but I know we don't have too much time to prepare. But one thing about us is that we really just kind of focus on what we can bring to the table. We can do as much, video and this and that on the teams we're going to play, but we just need to, do what we need to do. Right. And we need to get the job done. So for us, it's just understanding how important each game is. And for us at this point in time, just having the start that we had, we've been playing well, but we just haven't been getting the results. So for us, every game is important. And yeah, like I said, we're just kind of just going game by game. This game is for us is just as important as the next one, just because we really need 3 points. So yeah, it's just really kind of going game by game at this point.
Right. And let's get into maybe that a little bit later on. Because you guys also have another championship coming up from 2020 against Toronto FC at home. And what's that going to be like for you? Now it's at home for you to take that title. So what's that going to be?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, obviously we know that one. I think the biggest thing that I could probably talk about just about that one is that we're just very happy to have it at home, right? Even though Toronto is it's not really that far, but to have our home crowd there against obviously a team like TFC is very, very big. And I think it's something we've been waiting for, right? Obviously it was during that COVID year, so it was difficult. And I know everybody was excited during that year to play that game. But I mean, it's a little weird to see how long all that time felt and how it's already right here, right? So it's just about kind of enjoying the moment. For us, it's just, again, going game by game. We have a lot of games technically still before that. That's how we look at it. But obviously, I think the most important thing for that is looking at it now is that at least we get to play it at home, and it's to be played in front of our crowd, which is very important to us.
Right. And you see it all the time in the Canadian Championship beforehand and afterhand. Most of the games when the CPL plays the MLS, most of the games half the time are at an MLS stadium. So like you said, I guess for you guys, especially that's being played at a CPL stadium, well, CFL stadium as well, because you guys split the field with the Tiger Cats, is a big moment for you guys as well. So hopefully good luck in that. Good luck going forward and hope for the best, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem. We got 2 more questions though, still. So the first one I have for you is you also have gone to represent Canada in the international level. What was that like for you representing your country, putting on your nation's jersey?
Yeah, it's something special, obviously. For me, I'm going to be honest. I try not to look at it too much because I want to do it again. Right. Like that's something that is still in my mind, just to see how well they're doing. And, I'm proud of a lot of the guys, just knowing a lot of them, like what they're doing for Canada is amazing. And it's very motivating for guys like me that kind of are in that pool to have the opportunity to go. Just knowing that they're bringing the quality, they're raising the quality, makes you want to raise your quality as well. So for me, it's a lot of motivation to just try to get back into it. I'm honestly so proud of the guys of what they've been doing, what they've been able to accomplish, and just looking forward to how the future is. Obviously, the moment that I already had was so special, but for me, I want to have more of those, right? So it's a lot of motivation for me just to see how well they're doing. And just obviously that's something that is check marked off in my book. But for me, it's just a lot of, I hope there's a lot more to come.
And my last question for you, Tristan, is what are some pieces of advice you can give to younger kids or adults who want to follow in your footsteps and play at the CPL level?
It's all about commitment at the end of the day. It's you go through a lot of ups and downs no matter what you do, but especially being an athlete, I think that's one of the toughest things to kind of get through. So it's just, you just got to keep working you have to keep working and just hope that your shot comes no matter where it is. And when it does, just make sure you're ready. And You just got to keep working. That's it. Keep working no matter what every day. Just always try to be 1% better.
Absolutely. Tristan, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit down and do this interview with me, man. Really appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
Guys, Tristan Borges of Forge FC. I'm Cameron Capobianco, and we'll catch you guys next time.